Okay, let's have a look at some basic features of Zoom that might be useful in your classroom. This tutorial will just go over the basics, but there's a lot more information that you can look into once you become more experienced using Zoom. So down here in the left corner you'll see we have the microphone icon, and if I click on that you'll see a red line will go through it, and that means your microphone is muted. And next to that also you see the video icon, and it's the same idea. If you click on the video icon, a red line will go through the video icon and your video will go off. We have some more options. There's a menu just at the right of the icon, and you can see we've got some more options here. So it's got the microphone options. I'm using this H4 mic. I could use the built-in mic on my computer. Same with the output, so at the moment I've just got it on the built-in output going into my headphones. We also got options. You can test your speaker and your microphones, so you can just test the levels. Let's close that. And then the same with our camera. We've got a few more options here. So if you go into video settings, and you can see here we've got lots of different options. Aspect ratio. This mirror video can be useful because sometimes cameras are defaulted to be in the mirror view, so you might find if you're holding up writing for students it might be back to front, so you can flip that to make sure the writing is the right way around. So if we move along to the next icon on the right, you can see here we have an icon that looks like a shield, and that's for security, and this has certain preset defaults that you can change depending on your class and the needs of your learners. So for example, we have enable waiting rooms, so the learners will automatically go into the waiting room. You can allow the learners to share the screen right from the start. You can allow the chat room to automatically be open. You can allow the learners to rename themselves or unmute themselves. So you can just set these up prior to your class, depending on the type of lesson you're teaching. Okay, so after security we have participants. If I click on participants, we should have another window or an extension to window that will open up here. And you can see at the moment there's only one participant, and that's me. So I'm just going to join as if it's another student from my phone here. And now you see it says waiting Zach, and I can admit Zach here. So if I click admit, that will bring Zach into the classroom. So you can see here Zach's video is off, so the icon of the video is red with a red line through it. So you can just ask the learner to try to click on the icon on their phone with the video. And the same with the microphone. If the learner has a microphone with a red line through it and a red icon, this means that their audio is off. So again, you can ask them just to click on the audio icon on their phone. But sometimes on certain devices there might just be no icon for a microphone, so you could maybe share an image of how to activate the audio from their device. We're hoping to add more resources into the Padlets, such as images that will help you explain to learners how to access Zoom on different devices. So next to participants, you can see we have chat. If I click on the chat icon, then another sub window will appear under where the participants are. In the chat, I can send messages to all of the class by selecting everyone. So if I type in a message here, you'll see I have two students, Jack and Jenny. So if I say hi, that message will go to everyone. so both Jack and Jenny will see this. If I want to just send a message to Jenny, I just select her name and I can type the message and it will just go to that individual learner. So next we have share screen. We have some options here. At the moment I've got multiple participants can share simultaneously, or you can have one participant can share at a time. And then we have some advanced options. In the advanced options we have just a few different variations. So you can have host only or all participants, and who can start sharing when someone else is sharing. You can have host only or all participants. I would say usually as a default you probably have it to host only, just to keep things simple, and then when you get further into your lessons you can look at allowing the students to share screens, and maybe allowing multiple participants to share screens. So in the share screen we have some different options here. You can select whiteboard. So on the whiteboard we have a basic draw tool, so you can draw pictures. You can obviously write words if you're very good at writing with a mouse. We also have a text option. You can type in words or sentences, gap fills, different grammar exercises. These come in as objects, so you can type different words again, and I can move these around. If you're doing labeling things, whatever you want to try with it. You can change the size of the tool, the font, change the colour. So there's lots of different options there. If you want to undo, it will do one action at a time, so you can go back. If you want to clear everything, you just go to the bin and clear all drawings. Let's have a look at the screen sharing options. I found this a little bit confusing when I started using Zoom. You might find it okay, but if I click on share screen, you can see here I have different applications open on my desktop, and they will appear in the window here when you go to share screen. So earlier we looked at the whiteboard. So the important thing is to have the applications open already, or you won't see them here. So this is a video, this is a website, so I've got my web browser open, this is a PowerPoint, and this is just some images. So it's useful to have these applications opened on your desktop before you start your class, because it'll be easier to find them. If I want to play a video and I want to share the sound from the video rather than have the sound come out my speakers, if you click here, share computer sound, then that will share the sound directly from the video, or even if you're playing it from YouTube or a website. So you just select whichever application you want to show. So here I have a web browser. When sharing your screen, just remember to think about sensitive information. So you make sure you don't have any websites open that you don't want the learners to see. Make sure your desktop doesn't have anything that is private to you. So if I click on Google Chrome, you'll see now it will bring up this website, and the learners will see what you see in this green sort of lined area is what the learners will see. You've still got control. If I wanted to zoom in, I can go view zoom in to make things a bit bigger for the learners. Sometimes you might do that with a Word document or with a PowerPoint, just so that some text is easier for them to read on their phones. If I hit stop sharing, and now I can just go back to share screen and I can select something else to share. So if I want to share the PowerPoint, And again, you'll see that there's this green area around the PowerPoint that's what the students are seeing. And I can just play the PowerPoint as usual. So, and you can use your arrow keys to flick through it. And it's the same with images. If you have images open, depending on the application you use, if I share the screen, you can see here I can just click and share some images. And what the learner is seeing again is what you see inside the green box. So let's finish up by looking at breakout rooms. Breakout rooms gives you the opportunity to assign students to separate rooms where they can maybe work on pair work or group work. I found it really useful to increase student talking time and reduce teacher talking time, and also it's a great opportunity for learners to practice their speaking and listening skills, and in a way where they're not necessarily got the same pressure as speaking in a whole classroom setting. You'll probably find that this depends on the size of the classes you have, but if you've got classes with quite a few students, breakout rooms is a great way of just kind of increasing student interactions. So you'll see the icon for breakout rooms is like this, these 4 small boxes. So you just click on that icon. So we can assign the breakout rooms either automatically or manually. And if I select manually, I can then choose which learners go into which breakout room. This just takes a little bit of practice, but you'll quickly figure it out. Then finally, just click on this blue icon at the bottom right of the window and that will open the breakout rooms. You'll see the learners' cameras switch off one by one as they leave the main room to join the breakout rooms. And if you want to enter one of the rooms to see how the learners are doing, then you just go to join here, click, and then you will enter the room with the learners. If you want to leave the breakout room and return to the main room, just click down at the bottom right here and that will take you back to the main room. There's also an option in the main room to recreate the breakout rooms. So if you want to change the learners around, if you click recreate and then you can go to exchange and you can swap one learner from one room into another room. This might be useful just to sort of change the learners around so they get a chance to speak to other learners in their class. That's quite a lot of information to take in, but I hope some of it was useful for you. The thing is, we're all kind of learning as we go with online classes. Maybe my advice, one bit of advice would be just, have a play with Zoom, maybe with friends or family before your first class. But I'm sure as you kind of teach your first few lessons, you will kind of get the swing of it and find the best ways to use it for you and for your learners. Okay, enjoy.